We're back. It's been a little while. Busy. And I have killed a lot of hardcore barbarians. Unfortunately. Not all my fault. Just so we're clear, fellers and fellettes. Fix the sound here. So we're playing seasonal hardcore. We have a non-hardcore player. Playing Ben Riley, which for all you Spider-Man fans out there is a really good clone of Peter Parker. Highly recommend you read that series. It's a great series. There's, I thought the Clone Wars, even though a lot of people in Spider-Man comic book lore hated the Clone series, that's kind of when I grew into the comics. I thought the Clone series was great. There was a short series with Ben Riley called The Lost Years. It's like 3 books. Outstanding. I recommend it. It's a good read for anybody. Anyway, let's go and fire this up. It can kind of review the trials and tribulations that we have had in Season 1 of Diablo 4. So the biggest trouble we've had, I keep dying. Which if you're playing the hardcore, I ain't kidding you, that's a problem. So I've come up with some tips along the way here. One, before you load your game, speed test your internet. Make sure you got good internet speed before you load up. That's tip number 1. Tip number 2, Control R. At least that's the default. You hit it once, you get your frame rates per second. You hit it again, you get your latency. You see this pop into the 200s? Get to town, because you're gonna, you're likely gonna die. I'm just saying, just get to town. That's the other helpful tip there. The other, put some scroll of escapes, which I'm actually out of right now. Where am I at? I'm not near a town. Put a couple scrolls of escape in your inventory. I've been saving them in my stash. Put them on your wheel, and then bind them to a key. I have a mouse that has keys on the side. So put that on a key. So I have 10 here. Let's just split this stack a bit. Oh my goodness. There we go. Now let's grab 1. Put that in my consumables. All right, I got a scroll of escape with me. All right, so that's tip number 2. You know what? Let's put these tips on here. Let's just add a scene here. Nope. How do I do the text overlay again? Edit scene. There we go. Add a layer. Text. We're going to add it right down here. There you go. Hardcore tips. That is awfully big, don't you think? Maybe make that smaller. Number 1. Test internet speed. 2. Control plus R to monitor latency. And you see how it just went up? Late. And C. There we go. Oh, I put an N in there. Where did I put an N there? Latency. Excuse me. All right. 3. Bind. Bind scroll of escape to hot key. All right. And we'll go to 4 here in a second. So we'll save that. There we go. So those are my short hardcore tips. Now, how do you bind a scroll of escape? So I have it right here on my left key. And you see this red dot at the top screen. We're on the middle dot. There's the right dot and the left dot. And there's all these things you can put on it. You can hit customize, then you can drag any of your consumables, all these emotes that honestly I think are worthless, but whatever. And then your consumables and other stuff like, mark of blood, whatever. Anyway, leave dungeons useful. So I have that on my bind, you'll see here, to 1 and 4. That's actually on my side, the side of my mouse, to 1 and 4 on the side of my mouse. How do you bind that key? Go to Escape, Options, Controls, and you scroll down. All right, so there's the left wheel, the middle wheel, and you can see input that went to the left, which was my scroll of escape. I bound to 4 on my mouse button. And input that went to the upper right, which is leave dungeon, I put on 1. I just like those. Now you can get pretty fancy. You could put a whole bunch of these. I have 1, 2, 3, 6, 12 buttons on the side of my mouse. I mean, so I could go, yeah, I have 12. I could put a whole bunch of hotkeys on the side of my mouse if I chose. So you can get pretty customized as far, you could put it on your keyboard, you could do whatever. I have my skills reassigned to WASD because that's where I always put my left hand is on WASD because I've played MMORPGs forever, so that's how I bind my keys, but you do what you want. So, but that would definitely be one thing that I would highly recommend you do. The other one that, at least as a top 10-ish list of things to do, craft an elixir of death evasion. Let's go back to our edit scene, right? So number 4, craft elixir of death evasion. That would be number 4. And then, see, in no particular order here, but I mean, these 4 are probably the top of my list. But number 5, do not stand in red circles. Helpful tip. Do not stand in the red circles. Red circles, bad. Helpful. Very helpful. So if you look at my collections here and my Hall of Fallen Heroes, died at 21, 37, 49, 36, 34, 51, 52, and 50. Now, how did these last 2 die? 51, that was, I don't recall what I did there. Some of these early ones, let's see, Mother's Judgment, that was a red circle death. I didn't realize that when I charged her, because I had charge on my skills at that point, I charged right as I went in to attack Mother's Judgment. She does a red circle, a lightning attack, and it just annihilated me. It one-shotted me. I think I got one-shotted by her twice. Yep, 37 and 36. So learned from that mistake. Took me twice. Figured it out. Great. This guy, another one-shot hit. It was a red circle death. Another lightning. I don't remember what happened to this guy. These last 2, these were just really unfortunate. My internet provider, early in the morning, will do an auto reset of the internet for like 2 minutes. It just shuts down and does a reset. I never know when that time is coming. It's like 5:30 in the morning. The kids are sleeping. I'm doing a morning run, so to speak. What happens? The internet resets at the exact time that I'm engaged in battle with the Capstone Dungeon boss. Dead. And did I have the death evasion potion on? Nope, I didn't. The other time, same thing. The internet just reset. And again, I wasn't in a bad battle. I was actually on a horse just running through town. What ended up happening? an archer kills me. Now, I probably should have had death evasion potion on. I did not. Hence, hardcore tips. Craft the elixir of death evasion. Probably part 2 of that would be drink said elixir of death evasion. So those would be my highlight tips for hardcore tips on how to survive. You know, the old hardcores, because I made some mistakes, and you know, learn from my mistakes. That would be my advice. Okay. So let's get back into the game. So I'm trying to get my guy re-leveled up in the season. We're still on tier 2. We're at 43. Oh, those boots are ones that I wanted to extract. Let's go ahead and do that real quick before we pick it up. So how am I leveling? What's my goal, or what's been my process? My process, whispers dungeons. That's about it. I'm trying to pick up some quests as I go to try to burn through some of the renown that you have to do. Extract aspect, yes, please. So there are some things in hardcore too. Oh, I guess that's a good tip. Let's edit that. That'd be tip number 6. Store items in stash, and then mule items if full. Those would be good tips. Save. Okay. So right now I just extracted that aspect. Let's go stick that in my stash so I have it. If I get some gear items along the way, I'm going to go ahead and throw those in my stash. All my gems and all my consumables that I'm not using currently, throw in the stash and save. Everything else that you don't need, sell it or salvage it, because all of those consumable, all of those items that you get along the way are materials. So these plants and you know, armor and things that you get along the way, all the ones that I died before, you don't lose all that. That stays. So that's something that some people who are, you know, trying out the hardcore may not know, is that anything that you've salvaged and is in that consumable tab, you don't lose. If it's in your stash, you don't lose it. If it's on your character or in your character's backpack, you lose it. So if you want to keep it, don't really want to lose it, throw it in your stash, throw it on a mule character that never leaves town.
Need something for it?
All right. So as far as what I've been doing to level, I have been primarily, almost exclusively, just doing dungeons, and the dungeons that are for whispers. That one ends at 4 minutes. There's one that ends at 34 minutes. This one is close, 49 minutes. There we go. Let's go there. And then if that town has any, what am I thinking? If it has any quests, I might pick those up too, because you get some renown from that. All right. We're good here. Let's go ahead and start rolling out. Oh, I should check my guild too. What's up, James?
Ah, new facing.
Black Scorpion, baby. Good. I am good. now we're just gonna roll out here and go to the dungeons. If we see any scorpions along the way, since we just picked up that scorpion venom quest, we'll kill them. And we didn't, so we just hop in the dungeon. And we already did one dungeon that gave us 5, grim favors. You get 10, you get a whisper pack. And some experience. So what is the, let's see, what is the purpose of this one? Return ancient statues to the pedestal. They have like, I don't know, 100 dungeons in Diablo 4. They really don't. They have 4 or 5 dungeons. So he's saying, do I ever get past the 40s here? Yeah, I do, but get into the 50s twice, but my internet provider hates me. Alright, so that's where we gotta return the missing stuff. Anyway, back to my point about the dungeons in Diablo 4. There's really only like 4 dungeons. 4 types. You kill all the monsters, you go grab some wheel or something, bring that back, throw it on the pedestal, get into some place, and kill the boss. That's basically it. I still like them, but they're really not up there dungeons. Oh, I'm getting a text. Other helpful tip on the hardcore: don't answer text messages while playing. It's like don't text and drive, right? Don't text and play hardcore. Alright, there's the statue. And of course, the minute you touch it, the monsters come in. Okay, grab the statue. Statue. And we'll dump that here. And that will drop these guys, but ignore them. Go find the other one. Probably this way. Probably, right? Sometimes the trash mobs will be there's a big pile of them and kill them, but if there's one thing we're willing to do is clear piles of mobs easily. Sometimes single mobs, it's not the best. There's the mobs. Kill these guys. Rage up a little bit so you can kill some. It's just a pet peeve of mine that the generators are almost worthless as killers. They just don't seem to do enough damage to kill them. That's fine. I wish it had more single target damage there. Alright, I just gotta look at this text. put the pedestal back, then you go in here. There'll be some group of monsters you kind of have to whack in here. That'll open that little clear door there. Probably have to kill the monsters in there, do something else, and then we'll do a boss. And the dungeon's pace is about 5-10 minutes, and I'm playing slow right now. It's not terribly long to do a dungeon. It's very similar, I think, to Rift's time. Well, not fast rift, but like a normal rift in Diablo4. I'd probably put it on that. Alright, so we slay the matriarchs, 3. Now that might be the boss of this dungeon. Some dungeons don't have an actual boss, they have like mini bosses you kill. Let's see, there's a potion. Is there a room? Nope, it's probably just gonna be these mini bosses that we kill. One down. Alright, moving. That one, nope, he's just a mini boss. Or elite. Kill an elite. Alright. Hey, there's the guy. Shouts on. And spin him down. Items. Head north, maybe see if the other guy's up here. There's the lead. Ah, an event. Destroy the bone mass. Okay. Destroy the bone masses before they explode. Okay. So pretty much have to burn the bone masses right as they pop up. It's gonna be really hard to do if I don't have rage. Nah, didn't get that one. Probably ought to just save my rage. Come on, spin. There we go. That rage built up. Dead. One more bone mass. That is terrible. So following my own advice, I should head back to town right now. Definitely. Oh, and I'm getting dropped frames. Not good. So, alright, so we're gonna. Alright, latency calmed down. Don't know what happened there, but that was a little on the worrisome side. I don't know if you could see that. Wow, heck, my head's in the way, but the latency went up to 600, which is also why I had dropped frames on this stream. So if it sputtered there for a second, that was a latency spike while we were fighting that mini event. It's definitely something to pay attention to, that is dangerous. I almost hit the scroll of escape right there. Almost hit it. Hey, there's like a yellow chest. Guarded by an elite monster. And chest. That's some good stuff out of it. And I always err on the side of know when to hold them. I check how many items I have. I don't check the items while I'm If I was softcore, I'd totally check that. I could care less. Hardcore, you know, it's like the Kenny Rogers song. Know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away. Don't, what is it? Never count your money when you're sitting at the table. Never check your items when you're in the world. Do it when you get back to town. That way you don't die while you're just comparing an item. Wealth of knowledge here from the hardcore world. Alright. The notorious B.I.G. snake. Let's get him. Got him, and we leveled. And we finished the Whisper. So this was a dungeon that you just had 3 mini bosses, not a big boss. Alright, so we got all these items. And we leveled. Let's go to the Whisper turn-in, which is over here. Teleport there. And we'll turn in the Whisper, get that, and I think this will be a decent place to end it. It'll be a short stream, 26 minutes. Quick tips, what I'm doing to level in my character in hardcore, my tips on how not to die, don't do what I did. Hopefully somebody finds this helpful. Rings. And enjoy your journey climbing up in Season 1. And I will see you in the next stream. Take her easy.